My name is Daniel. I'm 35 years old, and I'm the father of three wonderful sons, Ethan, Noah, and Liam. They are my pride, my joy, my reason for waking up every morning. Every laugh they share, every sleepy smile I see at night, reminds me that they are the most precious part of my life. Life, however, hasn't been kind to me. My father died when I was still a boy, leaving my mother to raise me alone. We didn't have much, but we had each other. Years later, when I started my own family, I promised myself that I would always be there for my children, no matter what. But fate had other plans. When Liam, my youngest, was still a baby, my wife walked out. No warning, no goodbye, just gone. She never called to ask how the boys were doing. She never sent a single cent to help. She disappeared completely, as if we had never existed in her life. Since that day, it's been just me and my three boys against the world. We live in a small, two-bedroom apartment in Oak Ridge. The walls are thin, and the floorboards creak when we walk across them. Every month I scrape together the rent, worried about what might happen if I fall short. I never finished college, so my choices for work are limited, but giving up isn't in my nature. I work as a cleaner, no company, no boss, just me. Every week I search for houses, offices, or shops that need cleaning. I carry my own bucket, my own mop, my own rags. I walk from place to place, knocking on doors, hoping for a yes. Some days I work in grand homes with sparkling chandeliers and marble floors. Other days it's cramped offices with overflowing trash bins. I scrub floors until my knees ache. I clean toilets, polish windows, empty bins. Some clients smile and thank me. Others don't even look me in the eye. A few refuse to pay what they promised. But I keep going. I have to. My boys need food. They need clothes that fit them as they grow. They need the rent paid, so we have a roof over our heads. I work when I'm exhausted. I work when I'm sick. I work when I feel like crying. Sometimes, when the night is quiet and the boys are asleep, I stand in their room and watch them. Ethan, my eldest, sleeps with his arm over his face. Noah curls into a ball, hugging his blanket. Liam, the youngest, sometimes mumbles in his sleep. I touch their small hands, kiss their foreheads, and whisper, "I love you." In those moments, I promise them silently, I will find a way to give you a better life. One winter evening, after finishing a late cleaning job, I bundled up the boys, and we started walking home. The sky was dark, the rain poured heavily, and the sidewalks were slick with ice. Ethan held my left hand. Noah and Liam trailed close behind. Liam's voice was small against the roar of the wind. "Dad, I'm cold," he said. He was only 5. "I know, buddy. We'll be home soon," I told him, pulling him close and wrapping my scarf around his neck. The street was almost empty. The dim streetlights cast long shadows across the icy ground. I tightened my grip on their hands, feeling my own hands tremble, not from the cold, but from the fear of slipping. And then it happened. A sudden, blinding light, a loud crash, pain so sharp it cut through me like a knife. Then, nothing. When I opened my eyes again, the first thing I saw was a white ceiling. The steady beeping of a machine filled my ears, and the smell of antiseptic stung my nose. My body felt heavy. I tried to sit up, but pain shot through my leg. My head throbbed. Then it all came rushing back. The walk, the cold, the light, the crash. "My boys!" My voice cracked, barely more than a whisper. "Where are my boys?" A nurse appeared at my side, her expression calm but serious. "Don't move too much," she said softly. "You were in an accident." "My sons," I rasped again, my throat dry. She reached out and held my hand. "They're here. They're safe." Relief washed over me. so strong I almost cried. Moments later, the door swung open. 3 small figures rushed in, voices overlapping as they shouted, "Dad!" Ethan threw his arms around my neck, Noah clung to my arm, and Liam buried his face in my chest. I held them close, ignoring the pain in my leg, just grateful they were alive. The doctor entered with a serious expression. "Your leg is broken," he said. "You'll need surgery and months of recovery." My mind went blank. Months? I couldn't afford to miss even a week of work, let alone months. How would I pay the rent? How would I feed my kids? And then I remembered something worse. The cleaning supplies I'd borrowed from a friend had been destroyed in the accident. Even worse, I had fallen into the front of a luxury store, breaking part of their glass entrance. The owner was demanding $20,000 in damages. I had nothing. I covered my face with my hands and cried. My boys cried with me. I didn't know how we were going to survive. But the next day, something happened that I could never have predicted. My story spread on the internet. People shared photos of me and my boys, and strangers began sending messages of encouragement. Some sent money, others sent prayers. I couldn't believe it. People I had never met cared about us. One afternoon, my phone rang. A deep voice said, "I heard your story. I want to help you." I asked who he was, but all he said was, "You'll find out soon." 2 days later, a group of people came to the hospital. They brought flowers and bags of warm clothes for my sons. Then a young man with kind eyes walked in. He sat beside my bed. "You don't know me," he said, "but I know about you." "Why?" I asked. "Why help me?" He smiled. "Because I can." A few days later, he and his team paid off all my hospital bills. But that wasn't the end. One morning, they drove me and the boys to a house, a big, beautiful house with a garden and bright, sunny rooms. "This is for you," they said. My legs went weak. "For me?" I whispered. "Yes, you'll never have to pay rent again. This is your home." I fell to my knees, tears streaming down my face. My boys clung to me, crying too. I couldn't believe it was real. Weeks later, the young man asked me what my biggest dream was. I hesitated, then told him I wanted to open a bakery. His smile widened. "Then let's make it happen." And he did. Months later, I opened my bakery. Shelves lined with fresh bread, warm pastries, and the smell of coffee in the air. Customers filled the shop each morning, smiling as they left with bags of baked goods. I wasn't just a struggling cleaner anymore. I was a business owner, a provider, and a father who could finally give his children the life they deserved. I'll never forget that young man or the strangers who helped us. They reminded me that kindness still exists and that sometimes miracles are real. I started with nothing. Now I have everything: a home, a business, and most importantly, a happy family. And to you listening to my story, thank you. If life is hard for you right now, hold on, believe in good people, and never lose faith in a better tomorrow. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.